anyways, welcome Shailee to our lockdown talk. So we हामीले चाहिँ यो lockdown को बेलामा we've been talking to people from different fields, art organizations, artists, photographers, media people, and it's an interesting opportunity to be talking to you. So to those who doesn't know you in this Zoom chat or in Facebook, so उहाँलाई नचिन्ने कमै होला हैन Zoom-मा चाहिँ at least. So she is Shailee and she is representing Sankriti भन्ने एउटा organization छ Birjung based. So more on her and what she is doing. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Robide. Sawala namaste. Hi. I don't know other forms of greeting as well, but greeting in your own languages, please. Spare me with that. I'm Shailee Chaudhary. Right now, I'm based in Birjung. Academically, I'm pursuing my post-graduation. I'm in final semester. If the corona would not happen, I would have been waiting for my results. But right now, I'm waiting for my exams to happen. Apart from that, I'm involved with my dad's business. I'm learning how the business works in our Nepal. And I have been involved with Sankriti since 2017. Sankriti was established in 2013, focusing on youths who are more involved in the creative field. It could be any creative field. It could be art, it could be music, it could be dance, it could be photography, it could be cinematography, or making films or documentaries or any form of art. So it was initiated by a group of youngsters, youth people in Birjung. Manish Paudel Dai and Ronit Singh Dai, they have been in the main founding team. And then they handed over the board to us in 2017. So I have been leading Sankriti since then. And we have been expanding the area of Sankriti, not just involving us to creative field, but we have been also involving us in the community engagement programs, in disaster management programs. Like in 2015, then when there was earthquake, Sankriti was in the ground helping everyone in any way we can. In 2017 flood, we were there. In 2019 hurricane, we were there helping and doing all the efforts. Even in this corona pandemic, we are doing all the efforts we can, since we are not more equipped medically to be on the ground and help directly on the front line, but we have been doing in the back line, because we believe that frontline helpers also need the help of second line workers, because obviously if the frontline sabai कुरा त्यो frontline helpers or services givers हरुमा छोड्दिने हो भने we are going to collapse very soon. सो हामीले संस्कृतिले घरमै बसेर भए पनि आफ्नो नेटवर्कलाई युज गरेर, आफ्नो रिसोर्सेसलाई युज गरेर, how we can aware, create environment to support frontline workers in the remote area, in the दुर्गम ठाउँहरुमा पनि जहाँ केही पुग्न सकेको छैन, त्यहाँ at least making them aware about the symptoms, about the precautions, तिनीहरूले कसरी रेस्क्यु मटेरियल्स, रेस्क्यु सर्भिसेसहरु लिन सक्छ, या रिलिफ प्याकेजेसहरु कसरी तिनीहरुसँग पुग्छ, यो सब कुराहरुमा चाहिँ हामी अहिले काम गरिरहेको छौं संस्कृतिले.
So you've pretty much answered all the questions I wanted to ask.
We can discuss in details, and with I might as we go further in this, I can show you some of the posters we have worked in different languages. हामीले कसरी त्यो पोस्टर्सहरुमा काम गरिरहेछौं, and how we are collaborating with other organizations for this.
Also, the first question I wanted to ask is that your Zoom wall? This wall?
No, actually what happened, so there is a blogger, a YouTube blogger, Superwoman. She is Lily, actually the name of the blogger is Lily Singh, but she goes by the name Superwoman. She lives in Canada. She's a Punjabi. She comes from a Punjabi family in Canada. And a few years back, when I was a little in the dark place, and I used to see her videos, she used to talk more about girl power and how how girls should be supporting girls, what not how we see कि हामीले एउटा केटीले अर्को एउटा महिलाले अर्को महिलालाई नि ब्याक पुलिङ गरिरहेछ त्यो नगरेर we should be supporting each other. So she started talking about those things, and then I saw that she has been using such posters on the back of her wall. I got so inspired by that uh, almost 4 or 5 years back I got few of the poster printed, and on the back of my bed as a hover wall I did this, and today this is helping me as my Zoom background.
Yeah, some of very interesting quotes there. Ani the one on a serious note, I know. What I wanted to ask you was how difficult is it for a girl, woman, to lead an organization in Tarai भनौँ न होइन, किनभने there is a lot of prejudice against women. अनि there are very few such women who come out and who are active in this field. How difficult it is.
It is quite difficult, and I'd like to thank for this question, because this is such a question that we generally don't ask, and we don't talk about as well, because coming from a Madhesh area, a Tarai area, it is quite difficult to breaking that prejudice. Even especially from, I'm not trying to belittle any woman. I respect all of them, whatever efforts they are doing, but especially coming from a minority community, maybe like proper Tharu community or the Bhojpuri community, or even Marwadis, not just talking about Birgans. In Birgans, Marwadis are not the minority community, but taking Tarai as a whole, Marwari are still the minority community. And the mindset of Marwari people are like that the females should not, like, they should go out, but they should have their own restriction. Like talking about, हमने freedom दी है, लेकिन एक हद तक त्यो कुरा चाहिँ आउँछ, not just for me but for all the females in Tarai working in whatever field. So there have been a lot of prejudice. Even it took me a whole lot of effort to convince my family that I'm not doing anything wrong, or I'm just trying to give back to the community which I have been receiving since till now. And these little efforts is what going to make a community better community for the coming generation, or even for the present generation. So there are lots of prejudice which we even don't talk. Still we don't talk, or we are scared of talking. We may talk in our small group, confined groups, but talking it in the public forum or open discussion, it is still quite difficult for all the females out there. And more power to all the females who are giving at least whatever effort they can on their part to come in the community and work for the society.
Yeah, coming back to Sanskrit, what was Sanskrit doing before this Corona thing happened? Like, how was it?
We were focusing, at present we are more focusing on the community based women empowerment projects. Like a few months back we did a TOT on sustainable hygiene management, uh, how to make the disposable pads, sanitary napkins with the home resources like cotton clothes and fibers at the home, and how we can take that in the a sort of startup module. So we had been working on that. For that, Janta Clinic and Code for Nepal collaborated with us, and Janta Clinic helped us with the TOT, and all the trainees who became the trainers even took a few training classes, even gave few training classes to some of the other colleges and rural areas. And we had planned to go a more extensive way, taking the trainers to the rural areas, remote areas, the unpassable areas, and talk about these things, and uh, get them into empowered. Because I believe still there are most of the female or women in our society who wants to do something, but they are not sure how they can use their potential to come up with some financial activities. For example, if, most of the females know how to run a tailoring machine, but they don't know how they can use that to earn some money for themselves or their family, or even to empower other females in their community. So we have been trying to come up with these startup ideas. We will be just facilitating. We may be if they are much interested and there is need of some angel investment, we might get them coordinated with the funders all around the Nepal who would be funding them, and they would eventually earn and pay them back. We will just working as a facilitator and not taking any kind of charge in between them.
Okay. Uh, Thank you. So to the rest who joined Porkhare, Porkha Jumma or Facebook, we're having a conversation with Shailee Chaudhary, and she's representing Sanskrit Brigands-based organization. So to your answer to what you said, मैले सुरु सुरुमा संस्कृति चिन्दाखेरि it was back in 2015, 16 or this or something like that, and it was more of an art media based kind of like mm, it had that ethos. Okay? Now I see it slowly moving beyond like art culture. It's also doing a lot of social works and activism and stuff. So how did that happen? Like, was it
Uh,
gradual or is it because of like a change
it
of?
was no, it was not because of the change in the board or something like that. It was gradual, obviously. It's not that we have left the art part completely low, because Sanskriti's main module is to bring the artist, the youths who are involved in any form of art or creative field. Like in back in December 2019, we conducted a winter art workshop, uh, inviting mural artist from Kathmandu who took a workshop of around 10-15 people who were involved in even learning, and even they painted a wall in Birjung near Ghadiyarwa Pokri. So we are not just sifting just for the social activism or community engagement, but we are trying to bridge that gap, that how art and community engagement can be built together. For example, we can like language is a topic of community, and music is the topic of art. So we are trying to communicate how that community, language based community, can come upfront and collaborate with art and bring some wonderful work, like in mural arts as well. Till now we have been just doing on the focusing on some literature or maybe creative field, but in December we did it on a culture representing Birgans, that what Birgans is famous of, like Chhat is the main culture celebrated in Tarai. So we tried to portray why how big festival Chhat is for us. So we are just trying to collaborate art with the social activism or community based projects, so not none of any left behind, because if we just focus on the art, maybe some aspects of the culture will be left behind, and we just focus on the community, some aspect of the art may be left behind. So we are trying to build that bridge, that gap through a bridge, that how we can collaborate both things and come up with new ideas.
Mhm. Uh, to the rest of the people, if you have any questions that would like to ask to Shaili, or about the art scene in Birganj, or about Sanskriti, you can just type in the chat window. You should have a chat window open there. So yes, Shaili, it might be a very vague question, but how is the art scene in Birganj?
uh, the art scene is good. There are lots of creative artists here, not just in the art like painting, but other fields as well, like music, like dance, like now people are coming up with stand-up comedians as well. And I believe memes are supposed to be taken art as well. If they are taken, then memers are also filled. So many memers are coming up in Bergens, and the poetry, and even I'm involved with content writing, and I have been playing with how poetry and writing stories as well. So I think there are lots of potential, but the thing is the opportunity is not available here. So we are trying to come up with those opportunities who are involved in the because doing a 3-day workshop, a 4-day workshop is not enough for any artist to continue their the passion or the art they are involved in for a long period of time. They need a sustainable diploma or the workshops, continuous workshops, so that they can polish their art or whatever field they are involved in. So we are trying to come up with those diploma programs, a 3-month program, maybe a 6-month program, maybe, keeping in mind their time availability and the mentors' time availability as well, because we have to keep those things that don't coincide with their personal activity. So we are trying to come up with diploma programs, so that the artists who are actually involved in these activities can get a good polish on their field and can actually pursue this with their in the future. Because what happens is, like, Birgunj being the commercial sector, for example, even I come from Birgunj, and plus coming from a Marwari community, the business is the main thing. It's even said that being Marwari means Marwari is equal to business people, and I'm involved with business as well. I won't say that, but my more of the focus right now since 2 months is on writing. I have been working with poetries. I have come up with 15, 16 poetries. Recently, I completed a short story which is most probably going to be published within a month and will be available in the form of ebooks on Amazon and Alibaba. So we are trying to come up with those projects and trying to involve people who are trying to look for new areas as their career, so they can move forward. And because even my dad says that that is your passion, you can do in the side, but your main focus should be business. And I'm so now right now I am like, now I'm not going to argue with him more on this. I will keep working on whatever I want to work, and once I am established in that area, that I can showcase him the example that I have done this much, and I think I have the potential, or if I work hard enough, I can get or build a career in that. So we are trying to give those platforms to all the people who are directly or indirectly or anyway involved, or even not involved with the Sanskriti. And that's the best part of the Sanskriti, that you don't have to fill any membership form, or you don't have to pay any membership charge to be a part of Sanskriti. Sanskriti is always open for all the collaboration and all the involvements, or whatever projects, if anyone wants to lead through Sanskriti, we are always open for that. Because obviously if we get more youth and more minds, the projects are going to be much better than just few peoples within the organization. So we have been open for collaborations as well.
Okay, and how does Sanskriti sustain itself, like in terms of
We
financial?
crowdfund. We generally crowdfund any projects. We whenever we come up with a project or any idea we want to build. So on one hand, one team is working on the planning and the project, and the other team is working on the fundings. How what the concerned organizations can be welcomed for collaborations. We even have collaborated with the local authorities, with Birganj Mahanagar Palika, with Pokhariya Nagar Palika, and with such other communities as well. So we collaborate with them, and in that way we try to sustain Sanskriti.
Yeah, there is a question from Raj Kumaji. He's asking, being a woman social worker in Tarai, what kind of support are you getting from common women? There, if not then, what kind of problems have you faced till now? I think you have answered a bit of, part of this already, but
Yeah,
he
I'll repeat for him, please. I'll be pleased to repeat that. So while talking about support, we obviously, being females, and since now everyone is trying to be progressive, not just trying, many of them are being progressive, and obviously that is what needed. So female, others are supporting females, that we need to bring those voices uh, coming out in the community and let people talk. But at the same time, what happens is that uh, some people don't see that maybe that mind shade, or there are most of the hindrances we have to face being a female of the community. Not just me, I'm not just talking about me, or any female in general in a community coming from Tarai. So it could be your home duties, it could be your restriction on time. So it's like, okay, you are free for the day, but by 7 you have to be back at home. So those restrictions kind of is one of the reasons it hindrances us, because for example, if I'm going to some rural community for a project, so it could be maybe an hour, 2 hour, or maybe 3 hours from my place of living. So it means, if for example it is 2 hours from my place of living, it is going to take me 4 hours to go and come back. So
Yeah.
even and it's not possible for me every day to leave at 6 in the morning. And obviously if I'm doing an extensive program, it is going to take at least 5 hours or 6 hours in the field. So that takes around 10 hours. So it is not necessary that I could be back by 7 at home. So those types of small things, small adjustments have been the main issues for females. There are obviously bigger issues, economic independence, and other moral support from the family, moral support from the community, judgmental attitude that if she is doing this, she might be doing something wrong. Uh, just justifying others from one perspective of this. Talks which are going on. So there are various hindrances, but eventually, if all the females and all the youths, not just the female but the males and the youths, if they work together and come up with the ideas, and instead of thinking how the hindrances are there, but working on how to solve those hindrances and tackling that issues, I think it won't be going to be in coming future much of an issue for females or the youths to work in the community.
Yeah, I think that answers your question, है राजकुमारजी. अनि मलाई एउटा कुरा चाहिँ so about this corona and the COVID-19 crisis that's happening right now, what role do you think the regional organizations or art-based organizations especially have to play in such a crisis?
I think the art field can play a very, or the regional organization can play a very vital role, because obviously we are not very much of good in health sector or how to mobilize this lockdown. And we are very aware that after the lockdown, the cases of molestation, the cases of domestic violence has risen. And this is in future going to increase the cases of mental health. Even I have seen that I have been contacted by three people claiming that they have been getting anxious or they have been getting panic attacks because the family they live in or the environment they live in is toxic for them. So the artist can or the regional organization can come up with virtual talk shows like this, and it should not, it's not necessary to be 101. It could be a group workshops or group talk shows talking about how or what things we can do. And I must say that there are two things going on in the social media right now. So one group of people say that the lockdown is very good and we have to be productive because this gives you time to be productive. And then other group says that it's okay if you are not productive. It is not necessary that you have to be productive or do something worthwhile. And I will say that both of them are okay because I can justify that. The group which says that you have to be productive because they have the luxury, they have the privilege that they can be productive. But there is also a group of people who don't have the luxury or who don't have the privilege, so they can be productive. They don't have the means. Maybe they don't have a working laptop, maybe they don't have a working smartphone, maybe they don't have a good network or the internet services in their area right now where they are. So it's not, it doesn't matter if you are being productive or if you are not being productive. What we the all the creative or people who have the privilege, who have the luxury, and all the regional organization who have the privilege, who have the luxury, they can use their resources, have to work the people who don't have those privileges in any form. It could be providing the relief materials, it could be helping them with the awareness programs, it could be helping them with set up the helpline centers or coordinating with them or coordinating with circle security personnel, or maybe coordinating because though there is no internet facility, radio programs, radio is almost available, almost, I will say almost, because even still there are few places where radio is also not available. So those places where radio is available, they can create some programs, maybe talk shows, maybe music, maybe some stand up comedy or something, for those who are in those remote areas, and even though want to, they are not being able to creative, or they just want to take it as a break from their hectic life, toxic life, and heal themselves and work on their mental health. So we need to talk about those. Regional organization has to come about the talk, because this is a nice time we can talk about these things. Whenever, when there is no lockdown, everyone is already occupied with anything. Like the organization involved in photography would be busy shooting, and the filmmakers would be busy filming, and other organizations are busy with their work. But this is time, and we don't have to be 24 hour giving their time, our time to us. It's just an hour. If I have the resource, and I can give an hour to someone, and it would help that even at least one person. So that's how we can, those with the luxury, with the privileges, those people or those creative organization or the regional level organizations can help, and we can actually develop a etiquette of supporting morally, because we always talk about but we never have a chance to show. This is a time we can show that we are actually talking about equity, and those with privileges can share their privileges with those who don't have. I think you are muted. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I can't unmute myself because our host muted me. So yeah. I forgot my question. Anyway, so you were talking about like your the time in quarantine or lockdown, right? Ani, there is a kind of pressure, as you say, to just to be productive, yeah. Like
Exactly, yeah.
so, garne parcha, you have to do something, you have to learn something, but to all it may not be applicable, or everybody
Mhm.
might not be, or applicable in no way, but everybody might not be interested. They just want to
Exactly.
sit down and spend time with their families. So it's not necessary, you know.
Hmm.
So it all depends on yourself. So that was a very interesting thing that you said, Ani. How are you spending your time during the
To
lockdown?
be honest, the lockdown, so I am in my final semester, and this semester I just have to give three papers. So my one paper was done, and two more papers were left. And the lockdown was announced, and 2 days after the lockdown, I had my paper. So since I was completely involved with my examination, I was all free from the projects, and because I have to be preparing for my examination and my thesis and my external examinations, viva, and all those things. So I had kept myself like 15 days of free from all the projects and all the other activities, so I can give my 100% to the academics. And what happened that lockdown got announced, and now I have nothing to do. So the first week I was like, what do I do now? I like, at some days there is time that I can't sleep even at night, because at day I'm with dad helping in the business, and in the evening maybe I and Asu are having a cup of coffee and discussing how we can go with the projects further and how can collaborate with the other organization. And at evening I'm maybe preparing for my examination. At night I'm writing my story or working on my poetry or something like that, or maybe any article, or reading something else. So now for a week, like, I have nothing, I am null. It's like I just either sleep or I just eat. And then I have this tension as well, okay, this lockdown is going to make me more fat and fat. So I had those thoughts, but then again, Asu came up with the idea that we should start translating this in the local languages. He was the main who initiated this idea, and we had and lots of people came and collaborated with us for the translation. Like Ruxana helped us, my dad helped with the Marwari version too, and we
Can we say it, and like,
yeah,
because
sure,
we
sure.
talked about it before the actual conversation began, so I guess like people here are not understanding what you are
Yes,
talking.
sure, definitely.
So what is, you can talk while you like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. You can see the screen, right?
Yeah, I can.
So, okay. What we did is we took a sample pamphlet and we started making these posters in all the local languages. Like this one is in Nepal Bhasa, and this one, and in English as well, in Bhojpuri as well, in Khas Bhasa as well. So we started collaborating with the local people who were interested for the translation. We started talking with them that if you could help us with the translation, obviously we are going to give you credit. Whoever does a translation. So this is in Kulung Bhasa, this is in Magar Bhasa, this is in Koirai Bhasa. So we have been coming up with these posters translating in local languages. This is in Madwari, this is in Magar Kham Bhasa. So we have been coming up with this posters helping us, and these posters have also been used by few of the local level authorities for their awareness and prevention programs. So we are happy that we could be helpful in that way. We even collaborated with counterculture.
Yeah, there was a video, right?
Yeah. So there was a video, and we tried to come up in local language, translating that video in local language. So this was the video. I don't know if you can hear the voice or
ले
not.
भाई तोरा लेल अलगे खान
Are
पीन
you
के लागि
hearing the
भाडा
voice?
बर्तन
Yeah. Okay.
सुत के लेल अलगे कोठली से तैयार क देलियो
अरे दीदी विदेश से ओतेक जोखिम ल क अलगे रह थोड़बे न एलियै
विदेश से आयल छे बिना कोनो डर के क्वारंटाइन में रह रमजोगिया क्वारंटाइन में नहीं रहला के चलते गांव में कोरोना के संक्रमण फैलल रहे सरकार के कहल माने पड़े छे की भाई
की कर पड़ते क्वारंटाइन में सेहो कहि दे
अपन गांव नगर पालिका के तो कल क्वारंटाइन छै त ओही ठाम जाकर रह के नहीं त घर में अलगे कोठली में क्वारंटाइन में रह के
गई दीदी महेंद्र सेहो विदेश से घुरलैया ओकरा ओता अलगे कोठलियो नहीं छै उ की करते त
अहाँ अगर परिवार सब संगे एकेटा कोठली में सुत परे तैयो कम से कम 6 फीट के दूरी राख के सुत के चाहिए
भंसाघर में जा सकै छै कि नहीं
नहीं जा सकै छी अलगे भाड़ा बर्तन में पका के खाए के चाहिए आरो ओकर छुअल के बाड़ी के छिटकिनी हैंडल से हो साबुन पानी से पोछैत रह पड़े छे
हम अखने जाके ओकरा कहि दै छियै
हे मूर्ख नहीं बन भेट के कोन काज फोन से कहि दही याद राखी जत जेना सुविधा होय ओते क्वारंटाइन में रही बुखार सर्दी खोखी स्वास्थ्य में समस्या एला पर नजदीक के स्वास्थ्य चौकी में उपचारक लेल तुरंत संपर्क करी कोरोना वायरस से अपनो बाँचू आ दूसरों के बचाओ
So this video was produced by Counterculture, and we tried to translate in the local languages so the radios can use it as jingles, or the local televisions can show it in between their programs, because at many places there are television, at many places there are radios, so they can use this for awareness programs, because not everyone knows how to read. So maybe that pamphlets would not be as much effective as the audio or the video. So we have been trying to work on this format to come with more ideas and circulate the ideas that how we can prevent, and this is how we are working in the pandemic.
Interesting. So if anybody has questions, I see one question, I'll read it in a while. If anybody has questions, they can just raise their hand. There is an option. You can raise your hand. We can just we can unmute you for you to ask questions. We can do that, or else as usual you can write down the questions in the chat window too. So there is one question from Rajkumarji again. He is asking, in Tarai region personal hygiene issues are not taken into priority, but because of COVID-19 pandemic, how do you see the awareness of personal hygiene in common people? I think that is the question. That is one question. And the follow-up question is, will people adopt this culture or will stop after some time?
Like, I'm not sure that I'm completely in position to answer justificatively to this situation, because I have been in lockdown and I have not gone out of home in last 30 days. So whatever dad says me, or whatever I have come to know from my community people, who like maybe ASU or maybe other group of people who are working in the field for coverage or for some relief program. So as per them, that there had been at certain point there had been improvement in use of uh, personal hygiene thing, but still there is a lot to go. It's like if त्यो एक घन्टामा घाममा घुमिसकेपछि घर आएर त्यो एक घुट पानी खाएर मात्र हुँदैन नि. Have to drink, maybe it's impossible, but you will drink a glass of water. You need to drink a glass of water, else dehydration haruko कुरा आउँछ. So it is a personal hygiene ko कुरा पनि त्यस्तै आउँछ. Obviously the pandemic has helped to be more focused about personal hygiene, but whatever we are doing right now, especially in Tarai, is just a drop of water. It's just a एक घुट पानी खाएको जस्तो हो हामीले. We need to work on that more. And some might not even agree with me, and I'm completely okay. We should definitely have a healthy discussion. I'm always open for that. You know, if there is your argument who would not justify whatever I said, so we are open to, or we are open for that discussion as well. So what we want, I want to say is that we need to tell people that why it is important. For example, earlier, if until and unless something happens, मास्कै कुरा गर्ने हो भने we knew that मास्क त हामीले डेली लाइफमा पनि लगाउन सक्छौँ, because pollution is increasing with day. As the new vehicles and the vehicles हरूको युजहरू जसै जसै बढिरहेछ, pollution is increasing. त्यसमाथि लोकल लेभल र गभर्मेन्ट लेभलको कन्स्ट्रक्सन वर्कहरू पनि गइरहेछ. बट हामीले मास्क युज गर्थेनौँ नि मार्केट निस्किँदा पनि. देयर वाज just a quite number of people, quite few number of people, तिनीहरूले यो कोभिड आउनु अगाडि पनि मास्क युज गरिरहेथे. तर मोस्ट अफ द पिपलले युज गरिरहेथेन नि, दो दे न्यू द्याट मास्क इज इम्पोर्टेन्ट. त्यस्तै भयो नि, इफ यु आर राइडिङ अ बाइक बट यु डोन्ट वान्ट टु वेयर अ हेलमेट, तर कसैको आफू अगाडि एक्सिडेन्ट भइसकेपछि चाहिँ ए होइन हेलमेट त लाउनै पर्छ, त्यस्तो मेन्टालिटी छ क्या हाम्रो अहिले पनि. सो वी निड टु वर्क अन द्याट. पर्सनल हाइजिनको कुरामा हामीले अहिले अझै पनि काम गर्नुपर्छ. अहिले जति हामीले काम गरेको छौँ, द्याट इज नेक्स्ट टु नेग्लिजिबल. वी हेभ टु वर्क मोर, एन्ड इट्स अन अस कि हामीले आफ्नो मोरल पोलिसिङ र मोरल ड्युटी कति गर्यो. फर इक्जाम्पल, पेन्डेमिक सक्यो, इट्स बिन 3 months होइन, नेपाल ले भनिन्छ हामी कोरोना फ्री भयौँ भनेर. सो वाट आई विल आस्क यु राजकुमारजी है, हजुरले के मास्क लाउन छोडिदिनुहुन्छ? यदि छोडिदिनुहुन्छ भने किन छोडिदिनुहुन्छ? छोडिदिनुहुन्न भने किन छोडिदिनुहुन्न? यो दुईवटा कुरामा विचार गर्नु होला. र तेस्रो एउटा कुरामा अझै विचार गर्नु होला. फर इक्जाम्पल, हजुरले मास्क लाउन छोड्नु भएन, तर हजुरको ग्रुपमा अरू कसैले मास्क लाएन भने हजुरले त्यसको लागि चाहिँ के गर्नुहुन्छ? विल यु बी मोरल पोलिसिङ योर ग्रुप? विल यु बी नट? अरू तिनीहरूलाई हेरेर तिनीहरूले जिस्काउँछ भनेर हजुरले पनि छोडिदिनुहुन्छ कि? सो हामीले आफैमा सेल्फ रियलाइजेसनको कुराहरू यहाँ आउँछ, जुन हामीले अहिले त्यो हेबिटमा ल्याएर र पछि सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन गर्दै त्यसमा इम्प्रुभमेन्ट गऱ्यो भने अभियसली वी क्यान वर्क अन द्याट. त्यो वर्क नगर्न सक्ने जस्तो कुरा होइन, बट it's always on us कि how we are trying to work on that, how we are taking it as a self realization. not अहिले पनि कतिजनाले मास्कलाई एउटा बर्डन, मास्क नलाए पुलिसले डन्टा हान्यो कि, पुलिसले पिट्छ कि, या कसैले गाली गरिदिन्छ कि, त्यो डरले ल्याइरहेछ नि त. मलाई कोभिडले बस्नु छ त्यो डरले त ल्याइरहेको छैन. अहिले पनि हामीमा सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन भइरहेको छैन. सो वी निड टु वर्क अन आवर सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन कि हामी पर्सनल हाइजिन, त्यो पर्सनल नाममै छ नि पर्सनल हाइजिन, इट्स फर योर सेल्फ एन्ड योर लभड वन्स. तपाईँले आफ्नो गर्नुहुन्छ र इफ यु आर कन्भिन्सिङ इभन एटलिस्ट 2 people to maintain personal hygiene र सबैले दुई दुईजनालाई मात्र कन्भिन्स गरेर पनि गर्यो भने obviously we are going to adapt this culture of personal hygiene and take it lifelong even for us and for the coming generations. I think this answers your question.
I think it does. If he has any questions, you can just pop in later
Sure.
too. Also, you talked about other organizations, other Madhesh-based or Tari-based organizations. How is the situation, number-wise? I know how are there like a few organizations you're collaborating with in Tarai, especially regional organizations? Are there quite a few organizations?
Right now, for COVID, we have been collaborating with Birjung Metropolitan City and provincial government to come up with more content. And
I meant in general. In general, are
in
there like
general,
many based?
yeah, so in general as well, we try to collaborate. We have no any such restrictions that हामीले यो अर्गनाइजेसनसँग कोलाबरेट गर्छौँ र यो अर्गनाइजेसनसँग कोलाबरेट गर्दैनौँ. But obviously we assess what is the overall impact to collaboration को, because if there is no impact, that is just a waste of resources to collaborate. So हामीले त्यो assessment चाहिँ obviously गर्छौँ. And the motto of the Sankriti, we even see that most of the organizations focuses more on the self-promotion than the activity. So we try to maintain a distance from such organization as well, because the motto of Sanskrithi has always been focused on the projects and how we can get much effectiveness from the projects. Like even talking about the COVID, there were few organizations who initiated Rahat Vitran ko kaam. But what I personally don't like, I'm not saying this as a representative for Sanskriti. And right now I'm saying this as a statement as a personal, maybe conflict huncha hola Sanskriti सँग हेर्यो भने. So as a personal, what I say that मैले हेरेँ कतिजनाको फोटो फेसबुकहरुमा र ठाउँ ठाउँमा फोटोहरुमा आयो तिनीहरूले राहत वितरण गरिरहेछौँ. And that was a nice thing to do, हैन. उनीहरूले ग्राउन्डमै गएर they are working with the remote people, हैन, लो इन्कम भएका या माइनोरिटी ग्रुपहरुको लागि सपोर्ट गरिरहेछौँ. I like that, but I didn't like two things about that. First, यदि त्यो राहत वितरण गर्न 2 जना गए हुन्थ्यो भने 10 जना जान के जरुरी थियो? किनभने this is pandemic, this is not some flood or something कि 10 जना गए पनि खासै इस्यु हुँदैन. यहाँ त जति कम हामीले इन्टरेक्सन या भिड गर्यो भने त्यति राम्रो. And second thing, why are you taking photographs? Okay, they are low income people, they come from minority group, तर तिनीहरूलाई यस्तो एकदम भिड मागेको जस्तो, like portraying them as if I don't know what त्यो कस्तो तल्लो दर्जाबाट आएको भने त्यस्तो हैन. They are also human being, they have self respect. You should be empathic at this time. तिमीले काम धेरै राम्रो गरिरहेछौ, giving support at this time कसैले गर्दैन. If you are doing that, you are doing very good. तर त्यो एकदम फोटो खिचेर एक जनाको पक्री फोटो खिचेर सबैको राखेको छ, 10 जना गएको छ. सो त्यसमा चाहिँ अलि काम गर्नुपर्छ.
सो मलाई पर्सनली लाग्ने पनि त्यही हो, फोटो खिच्दाखेरि पनि प्रब्लम भएन. फोटो कसैलाई अब त्यो डोनरहरूलाई कसैलाई पठाउनु छ भने पर्सनली
एक्ज्याक्टली डकुमेन्टेसन हामीले पनि गर्छौँ. जब हामीले फ्लडमा काम गर्यौँ या हुरिकेन आएको बेलामा काम गर्यो, अभियसली फोटोग्राफ्स चाहिन्छ डकुमेन्टेसनको लागि. तर फर इक्जाम्पल XYZ अर्गनाइजेसनले गर्यो होइन, अनि त्यो अर्गनाइजेसनको 10 जना रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ भयो. सो डकुमेन्टेसनको गरे भने त्यो XYZ ले मात्र हाल्यो हुन्थ्यो नि. त्यो 10 जनाले आफ्नो आफ्नो प्रोफाइलबाट पनि हालेको छ, त्यो 10 जनाले एकअर्काको पनि सेयर गरेको छ. त्यो एउटा यदि त्यो डकुमेन्टेसनको लागि मात्र हो भने त्यो अर्गनाइजेसनले हाल्छ एन्ड यु सेयर इट. ल हुन्छ, इट्स गुड. मान्छेले थाहा हुन्छ कि हामीले यस्तो गरेको छ, ल तिमी आउन सक्दैनौ भने यु क्यान हेल्प इन एनी वे. मेबी कसैले 10 किलो चावलले सपोर्ट गरिदिन सक्छ, कसैले क्यास दिएर सपोर्ट गरिदिन सक्छ. एन्ड द्याट इज गुड थिङ. वी सुड डकुमेन्ट, होइन, त्यो डकुमेन्ट गर्नु चाहिँ राम्रो हो. तर यु सुड हामीले त्यो डकुमेन्टेसन र पब्लिसिटीको बिचको जुन लाइन हुन्छ नि, वी ह्याभ टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट कि त्यो सिमाना चाहिँ हामीले बुझ्नुपर्छ।
यो त धेरै उठिरहेको कुरा हो, नट ओन्ली इन दिस यो पेन्डेमिकको टाइममा मात्र होइन, अगाडिदेखि नै
इन जेनरल त्यो चाहिँ अहिले
सोशल वर्क इज स्लोली बिङ कन्भर्टेड इन सोशल मिडिया वर्क भन्दैछ क्या त्यो।
एक्ज्याक्टली या
so yeah, also too, when you say that, a question like popped in my mind, is there a line you have to draw between like art based activities and activism? Is there a line that there should be?
I personally I believe that if you know how to maintain the balance between art and activism, you don't have to draw any line. Because I'll give you an example. For example, you are a language activist and you make music. सो तिमीले त्यो म्युजिक सो हामीले त्यो म्युजिक र ल्याङ्ग्वेजलाई कोलाबरेट गरेर पनि त हामीले आर्ट वी क्यान त्यसरी हामीले न्यू आर्ट न्यू म्युजिक पनि ल्याइरहेछौँ र हामीले एउटा ल्याङ्ग्वेजलाई पनि प्रमोट गर्यो। सो त्यो यदि त्यो ब्यालेन्स गर्न आउँछ भने आई डोन्ट थिङ्क देयर इज क्वाइट नेसेसरी टु ड्र द लाइन, बट इफ यु डोन्ट नो हाउ टु ब्यालेन्स द्याट सो त्यो बेला चाहिँ एउटा लाइन चाहिन्छ, नभए यु विल बी आइदर only focusing and will get radical towards one thing than the other. So to radical bhaina, and you know how to balance both of them in a project or in any form you are trying to collaborate them. To balance garna ayo bhane there is no need of any line. But if you are being radical to language ma ya to art ma radical bhairacha bhane you need to draw the line, so you know that you don't have a rigid thought चाहिँ नजाओस् and you can come up with the fresh and new ideas.
Just I'm asking you this because मैले अहिले यो like COVID को response मा not only art based organization but other organizations हरू पनि they are like they have a kind of feeling कि we have to do something in response or like we have to do something related corona related हैन भन्ने त्यो एउटा फिलिङ छ नि त अहिले you see हैन सोशल मिडियामा यताउतामा, so we are doing something in response to this pandemic भन्ने छ, but that is not always necessary हैन, so you do what you do the best भन्ने खालको, so that is my kind of thought हैन. I'm not I don't know whether you agree with it or not.
I actually agree with that. So thing is एउटा आफूमा as a person or an organization, because everyone has their social responsibility. अब जस्तो हामीले मास्टर्स कलेजमा पढ्दाखेरि कर्पोरेट सोसल कल्चरको कुरा जुन आउँछ, अब त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले कर्पोरेट सोसल कल्चर नभनेर अर्गनाइजेसन सोसल कल्चर भन्छौँ, बिकज नट जस्ट द कर्पोरेट अर्गनाइजेसन बट अल द अर्गनाइजेसन हेज सम सोसल रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी जुन तिनीहरूले गर्नुपर्छ. बट वाट द इस्यु ह्यापन्स हियर इज we don't know the difference that how responsible we have to be at a given situation. हुनसक्छ अहिलेको बेला धेरै अर्गनाइजेसनको रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी यदि तिनीहरूले आफ्नो सबै मेम्बर्सलाई लकडाउनभित्र राखेर र कोभिडसँग हुने जति नियमहरू छ त्यो पालना गर्यो भने पनि तिनीहरूले सोसल रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी निभाएको हुन्छ. सो त्यो डिफरेन्स चाहिँ हामीले बुझ्नुपर्छ. फर इक्जाम्पल ह्युमन राइट डिफेन्डिङ अर्गनाइजेसनहरूले अहिले ग्राउन्डमा काम गर्न सक्छ, बिकज अहिले धेरै केसेसहरू आइरहेछ जसमा ह्युमन राइट्स आर बिङ हिन्डर्ड इन अ वे अर दि अदर. त्यो मेबी सेक्युरिटी पर्सनल वेबाट होस् या सम अदर वेबाट होस् होइन. सो दे हेभ टु वर्क इन द फिल्ड. तर संस्कृति जस्तो अर्गनाइजेसनलाई ठक्क मार्केटमा गएर या ग्राउन्ड लेभलमा गएर काम गरिदिन त जरुरी छैन नि. हामीले घर बसेर पनि त हामीले आफ्नो एफर्ट गर्न खोजिरहेकै छौँ. मेबी त्यो ब्यानर बनाएर होस् या अरू अर्गनाइजेसनहरूसँग कोलाबरेट गरेर भिडियोज बनाउनु होस्, रेडियो जिङ्गल्सहरू बनाउनु होस्. सो वी हेभ टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट हाउ मच अफ सोसल रेस्पोन्सिबल वी हेभ टु बी इन अ गिभन सिचुएसन. त्यो डिफ्रेन्सिएट चाहिँ त्यो लाइन चाहिँ हामीले खिच्नुपर्छ. अहिले संस्कृतिले जिद्दी गर्यो कि होइन म त हावाहुरी जस्तै ग्राउन्डमै गएर काम गर्छु भने सायद उसले फाइदा केही नदेला 10 वटा भिक्टिम बढाइदिन सक्छ.
एक्ज्याक्टली त्यही भन्नु
हैन. सो वी हेभ टु मेन्टेन द्याट एथिकल रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी विदिन अस, सोसल रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी विदिन अस, कि हामी कुन किसिमको अर्गनाइजेसन हो, मेडिकली फाइनेन्सियली र अरू रिसोर्सेस वाइज पनि हामी त्यो सिचुएसनलाई ग्राउन्ड लेभलमा गएर we are ready and capable or not to delegate that responsibility. यदि हामीले गएर त्यो सिचुएसन अझै वर्स हुने हो कि या हामीले गएर त्यसमा 1% पनि इम्प्रुभमेन्ट गर्न सकिनौँ भने हाम्रो जानु जरुरी छ कि छैन, त्यो कुराहरूमा चाहिँ हामीले डिसिजन गरेर एउटा लाइन चाहिँ खिच्नु पर्ने हो। त्यो चाहिँ अल द नट जस्ट द रिजनल अर्गनाइजेसन बट द नेसनल अर्गनाइजेसन or the local organization, everyone to has that ethical reasoning and social responsibility within them कि तिनीहरूले त्यो क्वेसन्सहरू गरेर मात्र कोभिडको लागि होइन, कुनै पनि इपिडेमिक, कुनै पनि डिजास्टर या कुनै पनि पेन्डेमिकको लागि यो सब कुराहरूमा आफूमै एउटा सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन र सेल्फ जस्टिफिकेसनको कुराहरू आउँछ। त्यो गरेर मात्र एउटा प्रोजेक्ट डिजाइन गर्यो भने आई थिङ्क केसेसहरू धेरै कन्ट्रोल।
Yeah, also the fact that we are not experts in the field, even if we have the financial resources, the manpower, the willpower to go to places, but even that
मेडिकली हामी इक्विप्ड छैनौँ या त्यस्तो कुराहरू हरेक पोइन्टबाट हामीले हेर्नुपर्छ, स्पेसली इन दिस सिचुएसन। किनभने अ रङ टच अफ द बडी क्यान इभन क्रिएट 10 new cases. Because you are touching a person, then that person touches someone else. So एउटा गलत टचले पनि हामीले केसेस बढाउन सक्छौँ। सो हामीले सबै कुराले सोच्नुपर्छ द्याट इफ वी आर रेडी एन्ड इफ वी आर केपेबल अर इफ वी सुड गो अर नट। किनभने घरमा बसेर पनि यु क्यान डु अ लट अफ थिङ। ल हुन्छ कोभिड रिलेटेड मटेरियल नहोस्, इफ यु आर अ पोइट come up with the live sessions, let people know your poetry. This is a good time that maybe you have been into writing lately, you didn't had time or the opportunity to showcase your poetry to the world. So come up with the live sessions or collaborate with the organizations. So Sano Paila did a very good effort. तिनीहरूले प्रारम्भ भन्ने एउटा सेसन चलायो इन विच दे हेभ बिन कोलाबोरेटिङ विथ द एस्पायरिङ पोइट्स, एस्पायरिङ सिङ्गर्स, म्युजिसियन्स। तिनीहरूसँग सधैँ 1-1 घन्टा 2-2 घन्टाको सेसन विथ इच एस्पायरिङ पिपल, क्रिएटिभ पिपल। दे हेभ बिन कमिङ अप विथ द सेसन। सेकेन्ड सिजनमा हामीले कोलाबोरेट पनि गऱ्यो तिनीहरूसँग। अनि त्यस्तो त्यस्तो अपर्च्युनिटी गरे पनि, किनभने फर इक्जाम्पल इफ आई हेभ 5 पिपल एट माई होम, ल म संस्कृतिसँग इन्भल्भ छु एन्ड इट माइट किप मी बिजी एटलिस्ट फर हाफ अ डे। तर मेरो घरमा अझै 4 जना छन् नि हु हेज नथिङ टु डु। कसैले टिभी पनि कति हेर्ने, मोबाइल पनि कति चलाउने, गेम्स पनि कति खेल्ने, कुरा पनि कति गर्ने। सो त्यही भने जस्तै द्याट्स हाउ वी क्यान डु आवर मोरल ड्युटी कि आफ्नो प्रिभिलेजहरूलाई लेस प्रिभिलेजहरूको लागि युज गर्ने। र इट इज अ चान्स होइन, who had the privileges, they can bring up their art, their creativity among everyone. के त हुन सक्छ if you have a good poetry, र लकडाउन पछि you get a very good chance to go or slam poetry event or something like that, you get invited by that. So त्यस्तो अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू पनि अभियसली क्रिएट हुन्छ होला। सो त्यस्तो त्यस्तो रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी पनि हामीले गर्न सक्छौँ। सो वी हेभ टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी डिफरेन्स कि हामी केपेबल छौँ कि छैनौँ या कुन फर्ममा हामीले। र इफ यु हेभ टु गिभ इट टु द कम्युनिटी, यु हेभ अदर वेज एज वेल, त्यो चाहिँ हामीले डिसाइड गर्न सक्नुपर्छ।
Interesting. So we have a question here from Facebook, I think. Kamana ji is asking, so the first part is the comment. Thank you for your good work and becoming others' voice. So the second part, where the question is, as a youth, where do you see Birjung in, say, 5 to 10 years time in women's empowerment issues or in hygiene management?
For your support, and coming to your question, so there are two facets of this. One is good facet and another is bad. Good facet is if we keep motivating each other. I यदि कसैले लिली सिंहलाई हेर्नु भएको छ, I might sound like Lily Singh, right? But word भनेर. So it's us, we have to come up with more of the ideas and more of the community. If you have seen, when I was invited in the Byte speaking session in Waumaris 2019 in December in Janapur, the British Council, I said a quote there. The thing we have to yet learn is no one gives us power. We just have to take it. हामीलाई कसैले पावर दिँदैन कि वी हेभ टु टेक इट. त्यो त्यस्तै भयो, कसैले प्लेटमा खाना ल्याइदिन्छ, त्यो खाना खानु त आफै पर्छ नि. बट द प्रब्लम विथ वी फिमेल्स इज हामीलाई प्लेटमा पनि कसैले खाना ल्याएर दिँदैन. हामीले खाना किनेर पनि आफै ल्याउनु छ, धोएर पकाउनु पनि आफै छ, पकाएपछि प्लेटमा पनि आफै हाल्नु छ, र प्लेटमा हालिसकेपछि खानु पनि आफै छ. सो किप द्याट इन माइन्ड, किप कमिङ विथ द आइडियाज. यदि हामीले आइडियाजहरूको बारेमा आउँदै गऱ्यो and one of the most thing we have to do is we have to start talking about it. धेरै कुरा छ जुन कुरा गरेरै सर्ट आउट हुन्छ, क्योंकि कम्युनिकेसन इज अ थिङ. कतिपल्ट हुन्छ, फर इक्जाम्पल इफ मी एन्ड रबिक दाई हेज सम इस्युज र हामीले कुरै गरेनौँ भने त्यो इस्यु पछि गएर डिफ्रेन्सेसमै क्रिएट हुन्छ नि. तर इफ आई एन्ड रबिक दाई हेज सम इस्युज र मैले वी ट्राई टु कम्युनिकेट कि दाई यो यस्तो यस्तो भएको हो, सायद त्यो भएर यस्तो भएको, एन्ड यु कम्युनिकेट युर साइड अफ द स्टोरी, वी विल कम अप एट अ मिड पोइन्ट, अनि त्यो रेसनलाइज भएर जान्छ नि. सो धेरैपल्ट के हुन्छ, इस्यु धेरै ठुलो हुँदैन, इस्यु सानै हुन्छ, तर त्यो कुरा नगरेको हुनाले त्यो इस्यु झन् झन् ठुलो हुँदै गइरहेको हुन्छ. सो वी हेभ टु किप टकिङ अबाउट दिस, वी हेभ टु किप कमिङ विथ द आइडियाज. वी हेभ टु, हामीले यदि कुनै एकजनाले मेल काउन्टर पार्टले 100% गरिरहेछ भने हामीलाई अभियसली 200% गर्नुपर्छ, नो डाउट इन द्याट. तर हामीले एफर्ट चाहिँ गर्नै पर्छ. नो वान इज गोइङ टु डु द्याट फर अस. यदि मैले आफ्नो लागि गरिनँ भने कसैले मलाई आजको डेटमा ल्याएर दिँदैन. त्यो मैले आफ्नो लागि आफ्नै गर्नुपर्छ. वाट आई क्यान डु is I can support all the other females or all the other genders in whatever we can, हैन. तर त्यो मेन बेसिक आइडिया चाहिँ हजुरले आफै क्रिएट गर्नुपर्छ, and that's how we need to bring up the community building. So this was the first facet, हैन. Second facet जुन मैले wrong side भने त्यसमा हो भने there is going to be so much of hindrances. हामीले भन्छौँ नि कि सायद समय जाँदा त्यो hindrances सकिन्छ, होइन. त्यो समय जाँदा नि धेरै कुरा यस्तो रूढिवादी छ नि, हाम्रो अहिले पनि यस्तो स्टेरियोटाइप छ कि त्यो जति गरे पनि त्यसलाई त्यो सायद 10 वर्षमा सकिँदैन. बिकज एट सम पोइन्ट अफ टाइम इभन द युथ अफ दिस जेनेरेसन आर करप्ट. म एउटा बेसिक इक्जाम्पल दिन्छौँ. हामीले बडा क्याजुअली भन्छौँ कि वी सुड नट बडी सेम, हामीले बडी सेमिङ गर्नु हुँदैन. तर मेरै ग्रुपमा यदि कोही मोटाइरहेछ या मैले नै वेट पुट अन गर्यो भने एकजनाले फट्ट भन्छ, ए शैली त मोटाइस. सो द्याट इज अल्सो अ वे अफ बडी सेमिङ. सो एट सम पोइन्ट, अनि त्यो त्यसमा हाम्रो पनि गल्ती होइन, बिकज वी हेभ बिन ब्रट अप इन द इन्भाइरोमेन्ट. त्यस्तै इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा हुर्केको हौँ. सो एट सम पोइन्ट द्याट इज इन अ वे हाम्रो unfavored privilege pani. So we need to work on that privileges. We need to at least try to work on those privileges, come up with the ideas. Obviously there are going to be so much of hindrances, but all it takes is your effort and support from everyone. सबैले अलिअलि पनि सपोर्ट गर्यो भने maybe not 10 years, but definitely in 20 or 30 years, definitely the coming generation from now won't have to ask these questions or work on these things.
Thank you so much for answering that. There is actually another part comment from Facebook that we got. It's from Manoj Shah from Birjung. I don't know. So he says Birjung itself being a culturally rich and city of civilization, I believe Sankriti has even more responsibility to enhance and make people realize its importance to them first, other cities and the rest of the world even. I'm proud of people like you, and Sanskrit is nicely working for it. And my question is, in insight of instead of in spite of I think he means instead of cultural painting skill development programs, what are Sanskritis further plans to preserve our Sanskriti? And he ends it with thanks and kudos.
So, okay, I know him, he's a friend of mine. Thank you, Manoj. So, first of all, thank you for always supporting. He has, when there was in 2000, when there was a hurricane last year, and we conducted some medical, instant medical camps as well. हामीले गाउँमै गएर एउटा इन्टर्न्स डक्टर्स फाइनल इयर स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूको टिम लिएर फ्रम एनएमसी एन्ड अदर मेडिकल कलेजेस एन्ड मेडिकल अर्गनाइजेसन्सहरूसँग कोलाबरेट गरेर हामीले लगेको थियो एन्ड हि हेल्प अस with medicines and all other required equipment. So I think we should thank him as well for that, right? And apart from cultural paintings, as I already said, that we have been coming up with more, we have been immersing to more areas. Like as Vivek has joined us in the Zoom group, he has been leading World Warriors Birjung chapter. And he has been volunteering Sankriti since quite a time now. So he has been coming to talk about the issues of the society through his poetry. Because as a Kodetma, it's not just the women rights or women empowerment we have to talk. It's about the minority rights. It's about the LGBTQIA rights. We have to talk about, because though legally हाम्रो सरकारले LGBTQI को राइट्स हामीले लिगली दिएको छ, बट अहिले पनि हामीले त्यो कुराहरूको बारेमा हेल्दी डिस्कसन गर्न सकेको छैनौँ. स्टिल हामीले नागरिकता या अरू डकुमेन्ट्स अफिसियल डकुमेन्ट्समा हेऱ्यौँ भने इट्स मेल फिमेल एन्ड अदर्स. सो त्यो मेल फिमेल बाहेक सबैलाई चाहिँ अदर्समा अहिले पनि राखिरहेछ. सो त्यस्तो कुराहरूमा पनि अब हामी आउन खोजिरहेछौँ. वी आर ट्राइङ टु पुट आवर एफर्ट्स, maybe through our writing, maybe making people accountable through our efforts. त्यस्तो प्रोजेक्ट्सहरूबाट पनि हामी आउँदैछौँ र how we can make them more into a career based projects, हैन, र पछि गएर तिनीहरूले as a the financial earning पनि गर्न सकोस्. Because obviously at a point of time starting ma activism looks good, very good, तर eventually you have to work in a field in a way कि त्यो सोसल एन्टरप्रेन्योरसिपवाला जुन कुरा आउँछ नि, हामी त्यो मोडलमा चाहिँ अब वी आर ट्राइङ टु ब्रिङ आवर प्रोजेक्ट्स अन सोसल एन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप मोडल्स, सो द्याट हामीले जुन पनि प्रोजेक्टमा काम गरिरहेछौँ र त्यसमा इन्भल्भ भएका र पछि गएर जो एक्चुअली इन्ट्रेस्टेडहरू छन्, जसलाई लाग्छ कि हो ममा पोटेन्सियल पनि छ, म इन्ट्रेस्टेड पनि छु र म यसैमा करियर बनाउन चाहन्छु भनेर जो पछि गएर आफू डिसाइड गर्छन्, तिनीहरूको लागि चाहिँ हो यु सुड बी यु क्यान एक्चुअली कम अप विथ द आइडिया एन्ड इस्टाब्लिस अ इन्टरप्राइज. त्यस्तो मोडलमा गएर चाहिँ अब अगाडिको दिनमा हामी काम गर्न खोजिरहेको छौँ.
There is another question that I received. Yeah, and he says, how can art be made more accessible to the lesser privileged people? भनेर सोध्नु भएको छ के. यो चाहिँ मलाई पर्सनली एउटा DM आएको छ. सो
okay, so art can be personally especially accessible in the remote areas या to impassable areas हरू हुन्छ. त्यसमा is we can do that in two ways, हैन. कि त हामीले obviously हामीले त्यो रिमोट एरियामा भएको अर्गनाइजेसनसँग कोलाबरेट गर्नै पर्छ. द्याट इज वान थिङ. सेकेन्ड, कि त हामीले अलरेडी भएको आर्ट त्यो रिमोट एरियामा लगिदिने हो कि हामीले एउटा त्यो फर्ममा आर्टलाई एक्सेसिबल गराउन सक्छौँ. अर्को चाहिँ हामीले हेर्छौँ
जस्तै आई थिङ्क हि मेन्स इट कसरी भने चाहिँ अहिले यसो आर्ट इन जेनरल हेर्दाखेरि it's something for the privileged class. It's something.
Yeah, I was coming to that as well. Okay, I was coming to that as well, हैन. So it's more of as he said, he or she, the person said कि त्यो प्रिभिलेज को लागि छ अहिले. सो that's why I tried to explain that is हामीले दुई तरिकाले रिमोट पिपलहरूलाई एक्सेसिबल गराउन सक्छौँ. एउटा त जुन हाम्रो सिटी एरिया या मोर प्रिभिलेज्ड एरियाहरूमा जुन आर्ट छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ रुरल एरिया र रिमोट एरियामा लग्ने. प्लस जुन रिमोट एरियामा आर्टिस्ट छन्, बिकज दे आर सो मच अफ स्टोरी होइन. जब म प्रोजेक्ट्सहरूको लागि गाउँमा जान्छु आई फिल सो ओभरवेल्म्ड कि some lady maybe in her 80s and she's singing the folk song so beautifully होइन. अनि द्याट इज सो इन्सपाइरिङ कि उहाँको भोइस सुनेर कहिले लाइक इफ आई वुड हेभ रिकर्डेड द्याट अडियो एन्ड वुड हेभ प्लेड इट राइट नाउ, कसैले यो भन्दैन कि द लेडी हु सिङ्गिङ इज मोर देन 80 years old. She felt like she might be in her late 20s or 30s. अहिले पनि छ. So we can bring those voices, those art forms, not just singing, but maybe mural arts, maybe other form of arts होइन. डान्स, फोक डान्सहरू छन्, कस्तो राम्रो राम्रो डान्सहरू छन् रिमोट एरियामा, फोक एरियाजमा. So we can bring that to the market, and there is so much of marketplace कि त्यो सोकेस मात्र हुँदैन, बट दे विल अर्न आउट अफ इट समथिङ. सो इट कुड बी अ विन विन सिचुएसन. हामीले एउटा त्यो काउन्टर सोसाइटी इन्टरेक्सन सँगसँगै, सो रुरल अर्बन क्लास नगरेर रुरल अर्बन कल्चर एक्सचेन्ज सँगसँगै एउटा त्यो रिमोट एरियाजको लागि चाहिँ त्यो एउटा विन विन सिचुएसन हुनसक्छ, बिकज दे विल बी अर्निङ समथिङ आउट अफ इट. अहिले पनि रिमोट एरियाजमा बिहेहरूमा यदि तिनीहरूलाई बोलाइन्छ भने दे आर पेड 50 रुपिज फर एन इभिनिङ. जबकि त्यसलाई यदि हामीले बिगर प्लेटफर्ममा लग्न सक्यौँ भने दे माइट एटलिस्ट गेट अ लिभिङ आउट अफ द्याट के. तर अहिले पनि तिनीहरूले एउटा इभिनिङको 50 रुपियाँ 100 रुपियाँ लिएर पर्फर्मेन्स गर्नु परिरहेको हुन्छ या आफ्नो आर्टलाई बेच्नु परिरहेको हुन्छ. सो त्यसरी चाहिँ हामी एक्सेसिबल गराउन सक्छौँ. एन्ड वी हेभ बिन इन टक, आई पर्सनली हेभ बिन इन टक विथ वान अफ द two people from Kathmandu regarding that. We are trying to work up on a social enterprise. Maybe we'll be collaborating with Sankriti as well as our local partner, and bringing those remote areas art of all the forms, and also establish a incubation research center kind of, so they can get a bigger platform and they can actually earn a livelihood from that.
Also, we shouldn't forget that art should be sustainable, and it's not just a one-time.
Exactly.
So when I know you, when you say art, it encapsulates all the other fields of art, not only like painting or drawing. It can be like poetry, as you said, or singing, or music, or photography, or filmmaking. It can be any form of
stories, or maybe nowadays I think journalism is also an art, because I have seen most of the journalism forgetting their etiquettes and being so insensitive towards the issue. And so right now I also take journalism in a form of art as well, because it's a profession of it takes art. Like art is a thing कि art भन्ने बित्तिकै यार it takes effort के. So that's how journalism is also nowadays. किनभने we have been seeing, you have been seeing how editors at good places are being so insensitive, forgetting their journalism and their etiquettes, and just for some cheap stunt, publicity stunt, they have been publishing anything. I won't be taking any name. I don't want to.
I think Ashok will be able to speak on that.
So yeah, I won't be taking any names. I won't be taking any names on that. But journalism has also become an art field right now. So maybe, yeah, when I talk about art, it's just not about dance, or it's just not about the music, or just not about the painting. It incubates all sorts of art. It could be anything. It could be photography, it could be videography, it could be book writing, it could be poetry, or there are many other form of arts जुन remote area मा छ तर हामीलाई थाहै छैन. So we will be researching on that and bringing out all those forms of art, or as many forms of art as we can.
just to clear it out, when I say Ashu will be able to speak on that, he raises he voices against like such kind of unethical or like
Yeah, yeah.
journalism thought. I see a lot of social media posts and like something like that. So for those who don't know him, so yeah, yeah. Anything you would like to add
So
on that?
Asu has
Please
been
go.
involved with Sanskriti since the beginning. I joined in later. Right now, he's co-leading the organization with me, and most of the programs and projects are his ideas. And we have been working together. We come up whenever we come up with an idea, we go for a coffee and brainstorm on that for an hour or so, and then come up, and then we divide our job responsibilities. So we and he has been very vocal about this ethics which have been mishandled, and that is necessary as well, because not just because we are as a human being, but as a not just as a we being a part of social organization, but even as a human being or as a citizen of a country, of a place, we need to understand that we need to keep them accountable. If you, for example, if a person is doing something wrong ethically, or his etiquette is wrong, and if I don't just respond to that, that you are ethically wrong, and that he has two things to do. He either has to justify me logically why he's right, or he has to improve his etiquette. There is just two things to do. Or you yeah, but some of them are doing third thing. They are being coward and not responding to that at all. So I just call them cowards, so that they don't have the guts that they can come and face to those allegations on them, and not responding to them, those allegations we are putting on them. They are also justifying us, saying that our allegations is right.
Mhm.
Because obviously if I say, Robik bhai, you are this, and if you are not counter replying me with logic, that means you are agreeing that Sally, whatever is he saying about me is right. That's how it makes sense.
It does. It does.
With the,
Also, yeah. Also, Vivek ji here says, yeah, journalism is an art of factual storytelling. Smiley.
yeah, he has been kickstarting his culture. Apart from poetry, he has been kickstarting his career in journalism, and he has a lot of potential. He has been a lot of potential. We have been happy and grateful that he is a part of Sanskriti, has been volunteering and been member since quite a time now. He has come up with few ideas as well, which was planned to be implemented since April, but due to lockdown, we have to postpone those projects. So I guess you are going to do a lot of good, but just keep the appetite for learning on. Just never close your appetite for learning, not just for you, for me as well. I'm always open to learn, because there is always something we can learn about,
Yeah.
even a bit. Every day you can learn something, so just keep that coming, and obviously you are going to do very good.
Also, just a reminder that we are taking in questions from Facebook as well as Zoom. फेसबुकमा कसैले हामीलाई हेरिराख्नु भएको छ भने इफ यु हेभ एनी क्वेसन्स जस्ट टाइप इन द कमेन्ट्स हामीले त्यो क्वेसन्सहरू पढेर विल आस्क शैली सो देयर इज अगाडि पछाडि भए पनि will try to accommodate all the questions. Also, when I talk when I say Facebook page, हाम्रो सत्यको Facebook पेजमा लाइभ छ. I think Shailee has shared it too. I have shared it
I have
myself. अनि
संस्कृतिको पेजमा पनि हामीले सेयर गरेको छ.
संस्कृतिको
So if anybody
पेजमा पनि
knows,
छ. के क्वेसन्सहरू छ भने त्यसमा राखिदिँदा हुन्छ. And also we expect to see a lot of likes from Birganj at the end of the day today. just just kidding. So yeah, Shura sorry, I just forgot, but there was one question. If someone there's a question, if someone wants to share their experiences with Sanskriti while in Birganj, expertise or experience while they are in Birganj, what is the criteria or process? So I mean, like he means how to collaborate if I want to collaborate or if I want to do something with Sanskrit, how can I get in touch, or what is the process?
So there is no hard and fast rule to collaborate with us. We are so easy to get in contact as well. You can either email us or at sanskritibirgans@gmail.com, or you can go to our Facebook page. There is contact details of Asu. You can either call him up, or you can even drop a message on our Facebook page that you want to collaborate with us. If you are in Birgans, most probably we will have a cup of coffee together and discuss the idea and see how we can help you out with the project, and how we can implement the project, or what are the areas we can work on. Or if you are out of Birgans and can't meet, for example, if you are in lockdown, though in Birgans we can't meet, we can obviously have a video call, maybe on Zoom or maybe some other place, whatever is feasible to both of us. We can talk and we can see how things goes. So there is no any hard and fast rule, just a few legal technical things. I think that won't be much of an effort, है. त्यो चाहिँ हामीले मेन्टेन गर्नै पर्छ, कमिङ फ्रम सोसल सेक्टर. सो त्यति हार्ड एन्ड फास्ट रुल पनि छैन. या इट्स क्वाइट इजी टु कोलाबरेट. इट्स लाइक अ फोन कल अवे. We are just a phone call away, like 100 number.
Or you can get in touch with you on Facebook, right?
Yeah, you can get in touch with me, or you can get in touch with Asu, or you can get in touch through our Facebook page or email, whatever you feel like. You can get in touch to us on Twitter as well. Sanskrit has a Twitter handle on Twitter handle as well. So you can get in touch from there as well. Wherever you feel like, we are always ready to collaborate.
So yeah, के क्वेशन्सहरु छ भने यो जुमको ग्रुपबाट you can just raise your hands. So not like literally raise your hands, but there is an option, raise your hand, because we can't see you. There is a raise hand option there. अनि मलाई एउटा चाहिँ अब I don't know if it will suit आजको कन्भर्सेसन हैन. तर मलाई अब कोभिडको रेस्पोन्सको कुरा गरिसक्दाखेरि हैन, द रोल द रिजनल अर्गनाइजेसन्सहरु हैज टु प्ले को कुरा गरिसक्दाखेरि आई सी त्यो कोभिड पीपल like more or less know about what to do हैन. जस्तै यो हात धुने कुराहरु हैन, it's all over, like people more or less know. अब if they don't हैन, it's more of ignorance त हैन, it's more of भनेर भन्ने खालको एटिट्युडले गरेर हैन, देन इग्नोरेन्स हैन. मान्छेहरुलाई अहिले चाहिँ थाहा छ आई गेस हैन, मोर लेस थाहा छ के गर्नुपर्छ, सोशल डिस्टेन्सिङको बारेमा, हात धुनुपर्ने हाइजिनको बारेमा मोर लेस थाहा छ. तर अहिले अब तराईतिर चाहिँ अहिले अलिकति मैले देखिरहेको चाहिँ अहिले यो the stigma associated, stigma and kind of xenophobia छ नि, जुन धेरै नै तराईतिर अहिले एकदमै भइरहेको छ. मेरो साथीहरुसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि पनि it's getting like scary in a way भन्ने जस्तो कुराहरु, which is entering Kathmandu पनि in a sense हैन. So can we as art based organizations, or like can we do something to like,
first thing we have to understand the main origination of that genocide or that stigma, you know. किनभने sometimes what happens is like हामीले आर्टमा धेरै कुरा गर्न खोजेको हुन्छौँ, तर we don't hit that point के. किनभने art can be so vague, any form of art can be so vague sometimes. So we need to know that how to pointly hit that. For example, यदि मैले एउटा आँखा नदेख्न सक्ने मान्छेलाई पेन्टिङ हेराएर त काम भएन, या पढ्न नसक्नेको मान्छेलाई पोस्टर हेराएर त काम भएन. So that's we have to understand that stigma or the genocide कि त्यो किन भएको छ. जस्तो कि अहिले इस्लामोफोबिया पिपल, हामीले धेरै मात्र इस्लामोफोबिया हैन, तर बिस्तारै बिस्तारै अरु इन जनरल फोबिया, रिलिजियस फोबियाहरु, अनि रिलिजियस राइट्स,
स्टिग्मा के. अब जस्तै स्टिग्मा एसोसिएटेड, अब पिपल मान्छेहरुलाई चाहिँ मलाई कोभिड भएको छ भने शङ्का लाग्ने बित्तिकै ल मलाई त अब के भन्छ मान्छेहरूले होइन लाइक आई विल बी अस्ट्रसाइज फ्रम सोसाइटी भन्ने जस्तो द्याट इज कजिङ मच मोर हार्म देन नट नोइङ
I'll share a little experience with you, right? So what happened a week back is like यहाँ एक दिन अचानक गर्मी थियो and suddenly it rained a day. एक राति चाहिँ एकदम जोरले पानी पर्यो म सुतिसकेपछि सो फ्यान वाज अन मैले ब्ल्याङ्केटहरू केही लिएर सुतेको थिइनँ अनि मलाई जाडो लागेको छ अनि आई गट अ फिभर अफ 102 सो द्याट वाज ड्यू टु वेदर चेन्ज अब अभियसली अचानक वेदर चेन्ज भयो भने इट इज अभियस टु ह्यापन किनभने एकदम त्यो बेलुकासम्म चाहिँ इट वाज अराउन्ड 30-35 जस्तो एकदम गर्मी जस्तै गर्मी भएको थियो सो गर्मी नै भएको थियो अनि सो त्यो भयो होइन अनि अ फ्रेन्ड कल्ड मी मलाई फिभर छ अनि फ्रेन्ड कल्ड मी and he said what have you been I am not feeling well I have a little fever so how much of fever I said like 101 maybe and it was in the morning I took some medicines and it is nice it is better now so do you cough and like no and they're like do you have a headache I said no and I understood that he has been asking me all the symptoms of COVID. So I said, see, buddy, I don't have any other symptom. I have been checking myself every 2 hours if I get fever or not. And I just had fever for half an hour and that was due to weather change. And plus, I'm not coming in contact with you physically at least. I'm neither inviting you to my home. I have not left home in 3 weeks. So relax, even if I get COVID, you are not getting it transmitted to you. So त्यस्तो पनि हुन्छ के हामीले आफैमा पनि त्यसलाई एउटा र्युमर पनि नभनौँ मीम कन्टेन्ट मिसअन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङले गर्दा के हुने बित्तिकै ए मलाई कोभिड रहेछ यार अब त कसैले थाहा पायो भने के भन्छ as happened with that 19-year girl I'm forgetting her name I'm so bad at remembering name कसरी होइन उसको लागि पनि कस्तो गरिदियो नि लाइक people are blaming cursing her mother and sister and what not एक त बिचारालाई यसै टेन्सन छ त्यसमाथि you are cursing her mom and her sister and no God knows who have some moral ethics त्यही फेरि moral ethicsहरूको कुरा आउँछ so that's how we have to understand that त्यति हार्ड पनि छैन के डब्लुएचओले अनि डब्लुएचओले भाइबरमा ग्रुप बनाइदिएको छ वाट्सएपमा ग्रुप बनाइदिएको छ डब्लुएचओको वेबसाइटमा यो हेल्पलाइन बट्सहरू छ वेयर यु क्यान रेजिस्टर योर सिम्टम्स एन्ड दे विल एनालाइज एन्ड रिप्लाई यु इमिडिएटली द्याट इफ यु ह्याभ द चान्सेस अफ ह्याभिङ कोभिड अर नट यहाँ वीरगन्जमा या तराईमा ओभरअल इन नेपाल यति हेल्पलाइन नम्बर्सहरू आइरहेछन् या यति अर्गनाइजेसनहरू छन् जो फ्रन्टलाइनमा काम गरिरहेछन् एन्ड दे हेभ बिन सेयरिङ देयर कन्ट्याक्ट डिटेल्स यु डोन्ट ह्याभ टु कम टु द हस्पिटल अर द टेस्ट सेन्टर इमिडिएटली गेटिङ एनी वान अफ द सिम्टम फोन गरेर यु क्यान कोअर्डिनेट त्यो भिड लगाएर स्टिगमा गरेर मतलबै भएन so we have to understand that and I think organizations can also help with that communicating these informations how you can connect with those service providers or those helpline numbers or the WHO WhatsApp group or the Viber group Ministry of Health ले पनि Viber group बनाइदिएको छ where they have been updating about the data and the decisions they have been taking so you can subscribe to those groups मैले फेसबुकमा
well informed as in general be well informed there are like
exactly
misinformation wrong informations are all over like news especially social media so you have to be well informed you have to know the sources to follow the sources to from where you get news double check stuff like that अनि एउटा मलाई एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लागेको क्वेसन चाहिँ राजकुमारजीले सोध्नु भएको छ हैन मैले अघि झन्डै छुटाए थिएँ what kind of positive changes do you see is because of this pandemic regarding working culture and many more
okay regarding working culture हैन first thing is good. What I see is work from home culture. So like I have not been much a fan of work from home culture, but sometimes it's good to have, you know, because I like one of the thing, even I have been into anxiety, you know, almost a year I was in dark place, and I had my therapist and worked on it, and community engagement programs has helped me a lot. So working in community and contacting and meeting new people from the remote areas and all the areas, knowing their life stories, their struggles, has always inspired me. So maybe not all of them would like, because at some point of time I'm like, these like in a year यदि 5 दिन पनि work from home पायो भने I'm okay with that. But but by this statement I don't want to say by any means whatsoever that those who are enjoying work from home culture is bad, right? Even my elder brother, he is a CA and he's in Delhi, and he has been doing work from home since a month, and company has been paying them. So one thing we have to the positive change would be work from home. It will help to balance the life and work, that maintain that balance, because what happens is like most of the women or other genders are also involved in some sort of income generating activities as they should be. So sometimes what happens that due to that, and still there is some stereotype that though they are involved in income generating activities, most of the household chores or the residential responsibilities are on them. So work culture for both male, female, and all the other LGBTQI community would help them to maintain that balance between work and life, maybe spend some quality time with the family members, with their partners, with their children, with their parents, or also getting the me time and increasing their productivity. So this is one of the main positive change I see that could come up as the time passes, or as this pandemic goes on, or even we get free from this pandemic. I hope corporate organizations at least don't go back to their normal life, because I have seen that once they are like, and they are more burdening the people with the work at workplace rather than maintaining that work from home schedule. Because and their justification is like 2 महिना त गरेकै हो नि वर्क फ्रम होम, अब त अफिसबाटै काम गर भनेर. सो त्यो चाहिँ फेरि नो आवर्स यो पेन्डेमिक सकियो.
अब one thing is जहाँ भर्चुअल मिटिङबाट काम चल्छ त्यहाँ नबोलो मिटिङमा मान्छेहरू हैन.
एक्ज्याक्टली है. that's the best thing I see कि पहिला this lockdown, at least to me, I can't say about everyone else, but I have feel that धेरै यस्तो कुरा छ नि जुन एउटा टेक्स्टमा अर एउटा कलमा या एउटा इमेलमा हुन सक्थ्यो के, तर हामी भेटेरै कुरा गर्थ्यौँ.
Exactly. Maybe.
So if you are a very good friend and you are meeting in general, that is different thing, but I'm talking in a professional way. इमेलमा हुन्छ भने लेट्स टक इन इमेल. हो ह्याङआउटै गर्नु छ भने हामी प्रोफेसनल इमेलमा सक्छौँ अनि ह्याङआउट गरौँला बरु. सो त्यो डिफरेन्स हुन्थेन कि पहिला. त्यो प्रोफेसनल र पर्सनल मिक्स हुन्थ्यो नि. सो हामीले मेबी त्यो डिफरेन्स चाहिँ अहिले हामीले त्यो बुझ्न चाहिँ हेल्प गर्छ कि. एन्ड द्याट अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ विल अल्सो हेल्प अस टु मेन्टेन आवर वर्क एन्ड लाइफ ब्यालेन्स. किनभने पहिला के हुन्थ्यो, हामीले पर्सनल प्रोफेसनको डिफरेन्स थाहा हुन्थेन, अनि त्यो भएर पनि कति मिसअन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ र कम्युनिकेसन ग्याप पनि हुन्थ्यो. फर इक्जाम्पल, इफ आई हेभ अ भेरी गुड पर्सनल रिलेसन विथ यु, तर पर्सनलमा केही डिस्कसन भयो भने, प्रोफेसनलमा केही डिस्कसन भयो भने त्यसले कहीँ न कहीँ पर्सनल लाइफमा पनि इस्यु त ल्याइदिन्थ्यो नि. एट सम पोइन्ट अफ माइन्ड वुड हेभ बिन थिङ्किङ यस्तो भयो, तर त्यो अहिले चाहिँ हामी त्यसलाई सेग्रिगेट गर्न सक्छौँ कि हुन्छ त्यो प्रोफेसनल हो, ओभियसली एभ्री वान हेज देयर रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटिज एन्ड इट्स ओके टु हेभ हेल्दी डिस्कसन समटाइम्स, बट अब त्यो गएर त्यसलाई पर्सनल लाइफमा चाहिँ कसरी नल्याउने भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ हामीले सिक्न सक्छौँ. सो द्याट could also be one thing
also like also keeping in mind that being online and doing this might not be privilege to everybody, you know?
Yeah.
That we both agree on. So yeah, so moving on to next question. Oh yeah, he has a comment. Study online culture is also being developed. That's a comment, I guess. So there's another question from Kamanaji again. Yeah, it's a question. So by the way, there are some new regulations introduced by the Nepal government. Some of them try to control non-governmental organizations or media. Is Sanskriti affected by any of them?
Uh, First of all, I was not aware about this regulation. I try to keep myself updated with this news, but I have not been. I did not come up came to know about this regulation. But still, if this regulation has been passed or implemented, Sanskriti has not been affected so far. We have
Does she
been
mean?
doing.
Does she mean the media council bill, or like there was one regarding the regulating the NGOs? I'm not sure about the details, but I like the media council bill was all over the news. Uh, so yeah, we are like the organizations operating in this country. So if there are any changes to rules, we must abide by
Obviously
it.
we must abide by, you know, that is why we try to keep up with these regulations as well, because as we are the as even Sanskriti is also kind of part of the nation and is acts as a citizen and has to abide by all the regulations the government
Right
regulates
now.
or implements.
Right
But
now, though, we are all affected by this regulation of lockdown. Everybody is under
yeah, the
lockdown.
law obviously that is
We'll
going,
see
that
it
is
after that.
going on. But again, right now, I'm sorry, I won't be able to comment properly on that. But if I will be obviously after this session, I will be looking about what you are talking about, and if I come to know something, and if there is something, we can definitely have a discussion about after that. Or please, if you know what the regulation says, please feel free to share if you have the link of that any of the
Yeah.
news in the comments, so all of the
In the comment
organization
part,
or
yeah.
the people who are watching the video, they can know what the regulation is, and if they are not aware of the regulation, or might be affecting to them as well, it would help them to keep it update about that.
Yeah, I think we'll take in last few questions if there are any. I don't see any in Zoom till now. Is there any on Facebook? Let me check. I don't think there are any. So if yeah, if there is anything you'd like to add on to what you've already said, uh, Shailee, closing remarks.
So I'm always bad at closing remarks. So I'll just say a few things. First, Sanskriti as an organization is always ready to collaborate with all forms of not just the creative organization, but who are doing trying to do something for the community as well. We'll see how we can help you with that as well. And we don't always have to be bannered on the Sanskriti name as well. We are happy to be as collaboration or local partner as well, or a supporter even. It doesn't matter for us that the Sanskriti's name has to go up in the banner. The first priority is that work has to be done. Second thing, all the women's and all the other genders, let's start supporting each other rather than pulling leg, because if we pull one person's leg, and in some way you are pulling your own leg as well, because if I say that that lady or that person is not doing good, so at some point of time someone is going to comment on me as well that you are also doing the same thing. So let's learn how to empathize with other people and not sympathize, because sympathizing is a very bad and negative thing. Let's learn how to sympathize with people's stories, people's experiences, people's efforts. More love and more efforts to everyone listening. More power. Please, everyone, stay safe. Take all the precautions. Let us know how we can be of help of, or you can help us with something. Let's collaborate. Let's work together. And I started with one quote. I'll end with the same quote. No one gives us power. We just have what we have to learn is we just have to take it and work on it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shailee. It was really interesting, and like as always, it has always been interesting to talk to the Sanskrit people, like from Manistai to
Right.
Ashu to all the people, wonderful people I met while in Birjung, while Satya was collaborating with Sanskriti. Um, we hope we will get to collaborate in
Soon,
some
soon,
projects again in
definitely,
future, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you,
definitely.
thank you very much for being with us today, and also like
Thank you for having me with this session.
रमाइलो भयो जोस् हैन
Yeah, exactly. It was a fun session, I must say.
ल thank you, and you also do join us हाम्रो अर्को सेसन
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
will have as interesting people as you talking.
I think more interesting. I love the last that 2-3 sessions. The last session I joined in live, but the other session I was not able to join live. But I saw the videos later on, and that was so much interesting. And I was panicking as well. I don't know if I would be able to speak so much with the information or with so much inspiration. I don't know about the inspiration, but I hope everyone loved hearing me and Robik Dai talk about the itautako kuraharu pani.
uh, yeah, I think yeah, this brings us to an end. We'll upload the video on our YouTube channel, so if you missed it out by any chance, you can just uh, check it out there. And I've also put in the link of Sanskriti's Facebook page in the chat window, or it's very easy. You can just search Sanskriti on Facebook. Ani, do you have any physical location right now,
Uh,
Sanskriti ko?
right now we are all working from. I'll put the
Background.
no. I was trying to mute my video so you can see the logo. So
Yeah.
that people don't confuse while searching for the Facebook page, and I mistakenly kept the background. So
Eh, eh.
we have the physical office. Obviously, we have the physical office near Jilla Prahari Karyalaya. It's
Mhm.
very easy to find. But right now, since we are working from our home,
Mm.
so we can maybe virtually meet, call on talks or something. Let us know, and after lockdown we can meet at your office, at our office, or maybe at some place having coffee, whatever you guys feel to meet, wherever you guys, or we can have a cup of tea at Bablu Tea. That's the famous tea puzzle at our Birgans. The
Oh yeah,
matka tea, the
I miss
matka
that
tea
tea.
puzzle. Yeah, right. Lord, like it's like signature place to visit whenever anyone comes out of Virgins, है ना? At
Mm.
least we take them there. एकपल्ट they should be having त्यहाँको tea है ना? They and it's so wonderful कि तिनीहरूको so many years they have been into this business. The taste never changed. पहिला बब्लुको ड्याडीले बनाउनुहुन्थ्यो, अब चाहिँ बब्लु र उसको दाइले बनाउनुहुन्छ, but still the taste is same, and they have been living like a very good living out of it. So it is like India. Like, let's not comment on that. But I
Okay,
think
yeah.
yeah, but they have
गाली
been
गर्नु
doing a
पर्छ
good job.
मान्छेहरूले do your own personal talk.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you very much, Shailee.
Thank you,
And
guys.
yeah, keep on doing the amazing work, you, Sanskriti, and like everybody else. Thank you so much, and bye.
Bye, bye, everyone.
Bye.